LEX-18 News Evening Edition. Decision 2014 coverage starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nancy Cox.
And I'm Kevin Christopher. Thanks for joining us for this special Election Day broadcast of Evening Edition. And we begin with a quick look at the latest numbers as the polls are closing in western Kentucky. Of course, they closed here in Fayette County at 6 o'clock. And in the U.S. Senate race, here are the Fayette County results. Alison Lundergan Grimes only up by about 6,000 with 222 of 292 precincts reporting. And that is a bit of surprise here. We'll see how that plays out for the rest of the evening and across the state.
Of course, we want to check in with both campaigns. Let's go to Evening Edition's Breanna Gilroy live in Louisville to begin our Decision 2014 coverage.
Yeah, that's right. It's really starting to feel like a party in here. They have music playing and the room is just being filled up with supporters, holding Mitch signs, wearing stickers, doing anything they can to support the longtime incumbent. Now, we have not seen Senator Mitch McConnell here yet this evening, but we did catch up with him and his wife earlier as they stopped at Bellarmine University in Louisville to cast their votes. I'm sure you can guess who they voted for. The senator stopped briefly to address the crowd.
I think we're going to have a good day here in Kentucky and hopefully around the country.
Around the country, meaning your first vote in the next Senate would be for what?
Well, I'm hoping we're going to have a new majority to take America in a different direction.
And we've been talking all year about how big this race is. Of course, if Senator Mitch McConnell does win tonight, he will not only secure his 6th seat, but the current minority leader could become the majority leader. Now, going into Election Day, he was up in the polls. People here say they're pretty confident that that will ring true later on this evening. His opponent, Democrat Alison Lundergan Grimes, is holding her event in Lexington. Our Leigh Searcy is there now. She joins us with the latest. How's it going over there, Leigh?
Well, you can probably hear the band playing behind me. It's a party here. A lot of supporters still coming in, gathering, watching the big screen behind me, but still no signs of Alison Lundergan Grimes, but we're told she will be here in just a bit. But even though some may call her an underdog, she is not letting up one bit. We were actually out with her early this morning. Grimes was out voting with her husband, Andrew. Polls show her getting really a pretty good thumping by McConnell, but talking with Grimes, she remains very upbeat and positive that she does have a chance to win this race.
This has been one of the best journeys, a long journey, 16 months, and I hope we'll have another 6 years in Washington to be able to be the voice for the people of the state.
And Grimes spent the day in Frankfurt working her role as Secretary of State, overseeing the state elections. We're told that she is due to come here within the next hour or so. She's been watching the returns with close family and friends. We'll have an update coming up in just a bit. Covering the news in Lexington from the LEX-18 Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
Well, of course, the McConnell-Grimes matchup has garnered national attention, even international attention. We're told there are media members from Japan at the McConnell headquarters tonight.
LEX-18's political analyst Bob Babbage joins us now with his observations on the race. And Bob, you pointed out a few minutes ago that things do not look good for the challenger here in Fayette County. How will that bode across the rest of the state, or is this one going to be over very soon?
Well, Grimes is from Lexington, McConnell from Louisville. You want to win your hometown, and Grimes is winning her hometown. Perhaps not by enough. She's going to need big returns in Lexington and Louisville in order to hold off McConnell, particularly as they get to western Kentucky, Nancy.
Any surprises for you, Bob, as this campaign has played out? Some analysts criticized Grimes for not having a real plan of attack and allowing McConnell to introduce her before she did.
Typical, though. That's what the power of money can do. And McConnell has always been well-funded. That's been his mantra. 1984, he won an upset by a few thousand votes in Kentucky over Walter D. Huddleston, then United States Senator. He funded that race well, and he continues to fund races well and follow a playbook that works. Remember, campaigns are not about governing. They're a popularity contest, being more popular than the other, making the other more unpopular, and that's the definition of the opponent you're talking about.
Well, this one has been very long and very expensive for both candidates, and we're now being told that NBC News is calling this race for the incumbent, Senator Mitch McConnell. So we'll run some more of those numbers. Fayette County looked like it was a bellwether for everything that was going to happen across the state, Bob, and we'll get to much more on that as LEX-18's Decision 2014 coverage continues. But again, NBC News calling this race right now, just 5 minutes after the polls have closed in western Kentucky for the incumbent Mitch McConnell. Nancy.
Much earlier night than many had predicted. Yeah. However, at the point you made, she had to win big in Lexington and Louisville, and it appears she isn't. So.
Those models that NBC has and can watch, even though we're just closing in Western Kentucky, give them enough indicators from enough places that they're able to call the race now.
All right. Again, Bob, it looks like Senator Mitch McConnell is headed back to Washington for a 6th term. Now let's turn our attention to the race for Lexington mayor. The Evening Edition's Josh Breslow is live at incumbent Jim Gray's headquarters in Lexington.
Yeah, and of course, Mayor Gray has a large, healthy lead over Beatty at last check. And as you can see behind me, it is crowded here at Bell's on Market Street. This is the viewing party for Mayor Gray. People have come out to watch those results come in. It's tense right now, and Gray hasn't arrived just yet. He is with his family, waiting to see how it all plays out. Now, later, though, Bell's is where the mayor is expecting to give his victory speech. Over the last few hours, Gray's supporters have crowded the first and second floors here as they watch those results. Gray told me earlier today he is confident he will win this election. He says he has what it takes to lead the city again.
But it means getting up every morning and thinking, how are we going to improve today what we did yesterday? And that's, I believe in continuous improvement. And in the next 4 years, we're going to try to do better in the next 4 years what we've already done in these 4 years.
Again, a very large crowd out here right now at Bell's. You can hear people cheering. They are watching LEX-18 right now. So, it looks like they've actually called it for Gray. Of course, people here cheering. They are very excited. We'll have much more coming up on LEX-18 News. Back to you guys.
Yes, LEX-18 has called the race for Mayor Jim Gray. His challenger, Anthony Beatty, had hoped that Lexington would embrace his ideas for a new direction. Evening Edition's Adam Yosim is live with Anthony Beatty's campaign.
Smooth jazz and sustenance for this crowd at the Anthony Beatty watch party. The only thing more this crowd could ask for is if their candidate becomes the next mayor of Lexington. This morning we were at Highlands Baptist Church as Anthony Beatty showed up around 10 o'clock to cast his ballot. He jokingly told us he didn't want to make the mistake and forget to vote for himself. Now, Beatty addressed his supporters about a half hour ago. There was a crowd call and response, in it to win it. He told the crowd that he intends to become the next mayor of Lexington. He wants to change the city, make it better for everyone else, but he also had a message for his supporters, something he wants them to do regardless of what happens tonight.
Regardless of the outcome of this race tonight, I need for each one of you in here to promise me that you stay engaged with your community, that you stay engaged with the process, that you become more actively involved. You become the activist. Don't ever not vote. Don't ever not vote.
And if you're wondering why you didn't see any Anthony Beatty television commercials this election season, he told me today he wanted to get his message out to the people in person since early October. He says he's done more than 80 events. Everybody here watching those results come in, eager to see if that strategy pays off. We'll have another live hit in another half hour, but for now we're coming news live in Lexington from the LEX-18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
But as we said, it appears that Mayor Gray will be the first Lexington mayor since 1998 to win a 2nd term, but we'll continue to update those numbers for you.
So far, it's been a good night for the incumbents. The polls, of course, opened at 6 this morning, and in some places, they had very lengthy lines.
And while it wasn't a mad dash to the precincts, Lexington poll workers say it was a steady flow throughout the day. And this time around, lines were longer with several candidates on the ballot. People we spoke with say it's important for every voice to be heard, and they believe there could be some tight races.
Seen a lot of commercials on TV, a lot of different ads, both sides bashing each other, but you have to go with who you think is going to do the best job. Like I said, for all the people, not just one certain group, but it's for all the people. That's why we vote them in office, so they can support, our state. It's not just one group of people.
Historically, these election cycles get 50% of voters to turn out. In our LEX-18 Facebook question of the day, here's what we're asking. Did you get out to vote today? Let us know what you have to say online at the LEX-18 Facebook page.
Our coverage of the 2014 election continues on LEX-18 throughout the evening, and of course, you can see results at the bottom of your screen anytime. You can also check the latest returns at our website, lex18.com.